How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to another video. Thank you so much for your continued support in turning up to these videos every single time, even if it is not to your overall interest. Like my last video, I did think it was important talking about those topics in regards to the layoffs at Amazon and the bogus reasons that they actually gave. 505 in their decision to push the industry in a way that's only going to be supportive of sequels and pre-existing IPs and not really focus on new IPs. I think that's a dangerous path to be going down for gaming, because eventually innovation is going to go, right? But for those of you that did check it out, thanks so much. I know it's not the usual content I release here, but for this video, we've got Starfield, we've got Baldur's Gate 3, we've got Suicide Squad, we've got the PlayStation Portal. There is quite a bit of news to get through, so I'm going to be setting you an awesome 500 like challenge. Don't forget to subscribe if you have not yet done so. We're actually really good on this channel. We're about 75% of the viewers that are subscribed are returning. So it's about 25% of you who are not subscribed that are constantly watching the videos. So if you are enjoying the content, please do consider subscribing. It really helps the channel grow. If you want to further support me as a creator in what I'm doing and providing this content, you can do that through my Patreon or through the YouTube membership. It's only £1, or you can do that through the Super Thanks if you really enjoyed the video and just want to thank me for this video. Right, now we can get started with the content. And this over here says, Digital Foundry confirms 60 FPS is possible for Starfield on Xbox Series X. Now, what's going on here is that the Ryzen 5 3600 with the optimized settings, this one over here is more akin to the Xbox Series X. And this is the beta patch. This is the actual launch version. First, let's just play the video, listen to what's being said, and then we can kind of go over it myself as well.
This increased performance of the Ryzen 5 3600 actually makes me think that something like a performance mode might be possible on Xbox Series X consoles, as the CPU in that console often has similar performance to the Ryzen 5 3600 in a number of titles, as we've measured at Digital Foundry.
So as you can see there, what's going on here is that when the game launched, Bethesda decided that it wanted to keep the game at 30 FPS because of the erratic nature of the frame rate when it was going up and down, and locking it at 30 meant that it would stay locked 30. But with the new beta patch that's coming out with the optimizations and the fact that the Ryzen 5 3600 is a very similar CPU to the actual Series X in terms of just performance, we can see here that unlike over on the left, which would have been the Series X's average performance inside the areas, again, you can see why they wanted to look at that 30 because of the erratic nature of the frame rate. But on the right, with the new beta patch, if this gets applied to the Series consoles, at least to the Series X, the Series S will probably maintain what it is right now. But at least with the Series X, even if it drops bits over here, as we saw to the 40s, it's maintaining that kind of 50 to 60 frames per second. I think that's good enough for a performance mode for the Series X, and it would do wonders for a game like this. So hopefully this beta patch is going to be received very well. They will be able to tweak it and optimize it a bit more, and who knows, maybe a performance mode for the Series X for Starfield could actually be a thing. I hope it is, because this is really good progress just for optimization. Okay, so this is the big one here as well. Larian Studios. Xbox players, we hear you're looking for more news on Baldur's Gate 3. The game is on track for a December release. Now, we've known this for a while. We actually said December the 6th, but Larian Studios came out and debunked that and said that's not the date we've said. We haven't said anything. And they did say we'll see you at the Game Awards for the world premiere of the exact release date. And as you can see down here, the top headline in the Baldur's mouth today. Now, this can go one of two ways, right? This can go one of two ways. A, this could be going straight to Game Pass. That would actually be massive for the community, for those people that are on the fence for this game, who, like me, won't. I know that I probably won't enjoy it. There's like a 5-10% chance I'll enjoy this game. But if it's on Game Pass, I will give it a fair shot. And if I like it, then I will go and buy it, right? I've at least made that declaration, and I will do it. But when it comes to the game, I think it's going to be shadow dropped on the day. I think on the 7th, when the world premiere comes out, they're going to come on stage and say, for those of you that want to play this game on the Xbox consoles, it is available today, right now, in stores for you to go and get it. I think that's going to be an amazing shadow drop. The world, the Game Awards is one of the biggest events of the year, so all eyes are going to be on that, whether it's media, viewers. I'm going to be streaming it myself personally, both on Twitch and YouTube. So for those of you that want to come and hang out on the day, feel free. But I think it's actually going to be shadow dropped. We'll see on the day. But that is big news for those of you that have been waiting for Baldur's Gate 3 on the Xbox Series consoles. Now this one over here, we have again Sony with their usual upcoming Suicide Squad utilizes PS5's high-speed SSD, turning Metropolis into your traversal playground. And they've got the new details there. And as you can see, we're back onto that magic SSD again. This straight up looks like UE5 Fortnite style graphics movement. I mean, graphically, it looks impressive. I've still got my reservations for this because it is a live service. So in general, most of the time, I mean, I like my story-driven games, which is why I love the Arkham series of games. And it's why I like story-driven narrative games, like Hellblade, for example, like The Last of Us. I enjoy those games because I enjoy the storytelling. I feel like when it comes to a live service, you're not going to get that. If we look at other live services, it's very rarely the case. Now, hopefully I'm going to be wrong. Hopefully this is going to be amazing and we're all going to have a good time with it. Rockstar doesn't usually miss, and they did delay the game for a whole year to try and get this just right. So hopefully that has actually come through. But as we can see here, no game is without its deluxe edition, and I think this is like $100. So you get this Justice League outfit. So you got the Flash, Superman, Wonder Woman, Red Hood, I believe that is. And of course, if you get the deluxe edition, you get early launch access as well, and you get the classic costumes with the pre-order. And of course, that's not all. You get the free Black Mask Notorious weapons. You get a Battle Pass token, no shade color swatches, whatever that is. Squad Gold's weapon dolls. So this is what you get for $100. I guess it's okay. You get a bunch of skins. Basically paying for a bunch of skins, and I guess actual weapons that may or may not be in the game for you to unlock, and of course the battle pass. So for those of you that are really looking forward to this game, this is obviously an option. The game is available next year, the 2nd of February 2024. But this is where it gets a little bit nasty. So as you can see here, 72-hour early access, so that is what the early access is. PlayStation digital only, so if you get the physical version, it will not come with these outfits. But for the PlayStation 5 version, they will get rogue outfits. I haven't seen any pictures of these or anything, so I don't know what they look like. And this could be right, this could be wrong, this could be bogus, I don't know. But it does seem, something that Sony would do. For the same price that you'll be paying for the game on PC or on the Xbox console, you'll be missing out on a couple of skins. And I don't like it when they do this. I really don't. And I think, all companies should stop doing this because you're essentially paying for an inferior product. Even if it is skins and if you don't have a care in the world for skins, it doesn't matter. You are still paying for an inferior product, and that should be reflected in the purchase price. And as you can see here, because this is a live service game, a lot of people just are not happy with it. Let's give it a subscribe. But a lot of people aren't happy with it. This was at 6.9k, so it's at least picked up some traction with 7.2k likes. But you can clearly see here with like 12k dislikes, the ratio is quite bad. And all the complaints here are, I hope the missions have a linear contained style like Arkham City. They don't want live service. At Rocksteady, storytelling, character depth at the core DNA of our game, which is why we're making it a live. So a lot of people are upset that this is a live service and not a linear game or an open world game like the Arkham series. And as we know, with more and more companies like Warner Brothers, for example, with the Wonder Woman game coming, they have already announced that they're going to be doing more live service games and pushing in that direction to monetize and push microtransaction and push engagement of the games to keep people playing those games in hopes to monetize it more. Well, Wonder Woman, from what I've read, is also going to be a live service game. Job roles that are available for that indicate that exactly. So it does look like more and more companies are going to be gambling on this live service to hope it sticks. The problem with these live services is that if there's too many, many will fail. Only the few survive. And for those people that have invested a lot of time in live service of the choice, well, they're not just going to jump ship and jump into something else and start fresh. Even if they did play it for a little bit, it won't be their main game. Their main game will be the one that they've spent 5,000 hours on. So it's quite dangerous in that regard. Now this one over here is shocking, right? So this is something that I've been wondering about, and I have reached out to Sony for a review version of the console so I can review it and see, get a hands on it, because I'm not going to pay money for it. Because at the moment, I think it's overpriced for what it is. And this just proves to me that it is way overpriced for what it is. And all these people that are out there that are showing off with their PlayStation Portal and saying that it's perfect, it's really not. Because as I said here, every review I've read has not said anything about this. And was something I wanted to test, because this was a big thing for me. If I'm out and about, I don't want to be using my mobile data. I want to be using, the Wi-Fi over at Starbucks or McDonald's or wherever I'm at, right? If I'm going to take it outside with me, there's a hotspot there with my BT ISP. I want to be using that. That's what it's there for. It's there for me to save money. But you can't do that because there's no browser. Listen to what he says.
I packed it up and took it to Dunkin' Donuts, which, as a New Englander, I am required by law to visit at least once per month. I'd hoped to test its performance on public Wi-Fi, but this was a total bust. Dunkin', like many chains, airports, libraries, hotels, and other locations offering guest Wi-Fi, requires you to visit a website and acknowledge its terms of service before allowing you onto their network. And the portal has no web browser to allow such an interaction. That is a huge bummer, because pretty much any place you'd want to use it outside your house is going to require that initial login payment. I packed it up.
And that's the big problem here. And no one, not a single review out there has been talking about this. And I've been asking, whether it's IGN, Eurogamer, and I've been posting, asking, how do you get around this problem? And I've been ignored at every single turn. And now we find out why I've been ignored at every single turn, because it's not possible. This is a huge deal. This is a game breaker. This is a deal breaker for going outside. I know in the UK we have tariffs with unlimited access for data. Even though they're a bit expensive, we still have them. There are some cheap ones at like £20 a month. So we have them, right? But I know in the US that's not really a thing, at least from what I've spoken to people. So using your mobile data can be quite expensive when you're basically transferring the data from the screen as a video to your mobile, using that data, and then that's connecting to your home console and transferring that data back and forth. And we're talking at a higher resolution as well, because that's what the portal does. So you're going to be using quite a bit of data. And if you can't connect to any Wi-Fi around you, essentially, yes, you can use it outside. There's nothing stopping you from using it outside. But in everyday reality, you are not going to do that because you are incapable of doing that. Without a browser, it really puts a problem. Now, obviously, Sony can put a browser into this, but will they? Because if a browser goes in, it's depending on the browser that they choose as well, I'd assume it's going to be a heavily customized version of their own choosing, because if they try to use anything like Google or anything else, then you can just go to xbox.com/play or GeForce Now/play, and you can play your cloud games without having to pay a single penny to Sony and have those 4080 tier games, graphics card tier games, on your portal screen. Sony would lose an enormous amount of money because that would be another avenue for people to go in. And as we know, PC games are a lot cheaper. So when it comes to those third-party games that Sony relies on to bring in the money, they would potentially start to lose a lot of money on this. Now, the final thing I wanted to talk about is, of course, this notion that the PS Portal has sold out everywhere. And it has. It really has sold out everywhere. It's selling like hotcakes, and it's a phenomenon. But I will just say, just go check out eBay or Facebook Marketplace or any other marketplace that has an auction, because I can bet you the bottom dollar, like I've seen in 3 different locations already, they're flooded. The scalpers are at it again. So all this notion, and if anyone turns around and tells you, oh, they've already sold out and everything, just tell them to go look at eBay. They'll find so many there, it's ridiculous. And I'm happy, because the chances are they're not going to be able to resell those. Because once everyone realizes what this thing is, and it's pretty much designed as Sony has been advertising, in all fairness, in your home connection, then a lot more people are just going to pull out. Okay, that sounded a lot more dirty than I wanted it to, but deal with it. Right, that's the video. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget, 500 likes. I know we can do it. Don't forget to subscribe if you are part of that 25%. It really means the world to me. We are trying to hit 7,500 subs by Christmas. And if we do, I will do a nice little giveaway for Christmas. Of course, don't forget you can support me further through my Patreon, YouTube membership starting as low as £1. And of course, if you really enjoyed this video or just want to support me through this video, there is that super thanks option at the bottom of the video. That is also an option. Right, until the next video, which will probably be maybe tomorrow. I am planning on streaming tomorrow over at Twitch with some more Alan Wake for those of you that are interested. So hopefully I'll see some of you over there at twitch.tv/ChaosPrimeZGaming. All the links in the description below, including my Discord and my Twitter if you want to just mingle or just chat with me. Always an option. Right, that's it. I'm out. Thanks so much. Remain legend.